So I'm not entirely sure why they list this as a comedy show. It's really not comedy. It's my hopes and dreams sometimes is what it feels like in these little videos I do. But just want to share some of my thoughts on the game seven between the Warriors and the Rockets. The Warriors go over the Rockets by a score of 101 to 92, and the Warriors will move on to face the Cavaliers in the NBA Finals. But the legitimate NBA Finals was between the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets. I don't think anyone believes whether it was the Rockets or the Warriors that went over in this game. Both teams were going to roll pretty easily through the Cavs unless LeBron James shows up and scores 40 every single night. Which is possible. It's possible, but unlikely. So tonight was a gutsy, gritty, and a really stellar performance by the Houston Rockets. The Rockets needed James Harden to have an MVP worthy level type of performance, and I've been a critic of James Harden for a long time. I think I feel like he shrinks in some of the big moments. But I will say that today in this game, it really kind of swayed me, and I'm forever going to be on Team James Harden bandwagon. He played phenomenal tonight, and had the Rockets had Chris Paul on the floor, this is a completely different series. Completely different series. Little Saint BB21 says wasn't all Harden's fault. Basketball gods curse it up. I mean, at one point, the Rockets missed 20 straight threes. That's more than some teams will take in 2 games. The Rockets just got ice cold. They could not hit. And on top of that, I did read the first comment. On top of that, it really felt like the Rockets were playing a little bit against the officials as well. There were some really egregious calls in the third quarter, and that's the reason why I feel like the Warriors kind of had that big run in the third quarter, which kind of helped separate them when they got to the fourth and the Rockets started playing good again. They missed what was it 3-point attempts by Harden that he normally gets the foul call on. They were fouls. When you look back at them, they were fouls. Either the defender was not giving Harden space to land, or they were hitting his arm on the way up. It is what it is. For whatever reason, the officials ate the whistle on that call. Even another one, there was it was PJ Tucker. He was going up for a rebound, and Jordan Bell flails out of the background like he was shot by a sniper somewhere up on the roof. And of course, that was a foul on PJ Tucker. Little Saint BB says they got a big double-digit lead, but kept jacking like stop. Listen, the illegal screen that was terrible as well. But I like what I don't know if you were watching it on TNT or at a bar or whatever, but what Chris Webber was saying about the Rockets offense, which it kind of resonated with me, and it's something that I don't think people really talk about, and you don't really get to hear about it much this year because the Rockets won a shit ton of games this year. But the shots that the Rockets are taking are all shots that they take in their offense. So I mean, you're essentially changing offense when the shots aren't going in. You know, you want the Rockets to keep on shooting because you eventually feel like the shots are going to go down. I mean, it's hard for a team to miss, was it 25, 26, 27 threes in a row? It's hard for a team to miss that many threes. You think they're going to go in after a while. I don't begrudge the Rockets for continuing to shoot threes. I wish there was a tad bit more ball movement, but aside from that, the Rockets lived like they played for the entire season. The only thing the Rockets did not have in this game, like they had for the majority of the season, was Chris Paul. And that's going to be something big for the Rockets to kind of worry about going into next year, is if they're willing to pony up all that money for Chris Paul. Jane says, Josh, how are you? I'm doing well. Sorry, I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name. That seems pretty tough. Pretty tough. When the Warriors got into didn't have CP, would normally stop the drought and hit the mid range. Yeah, there was a consistent lack of mid range shots, but I don't mind. Eric Gordon supplied a lot of good stuff for the Rockets. I mean, he kind of filled Chris Paul's role. The problem was the Rockets are not as deep as the Warriors. The Warriors have Kevin Durant, who was unconscious for a big chunk of the game. They have Klay Thompson, who was hitting shots when he got in the game. They have Stephen Curry. They have Draymond Green. They have so many guys. The Rockets had James Harden, and the Pips. It was tough, and I have to tip my cap to Steve Kerr when the Rockets started getting going late in the fourth quarter, when it looked like they just might eke out one last run. He went to the hack of Capella, and Capella missed some big shots down the stretch, and that pretty much was all she wrote. It's not Capella's fault. It's not James Harden's fault. It's not the Rockets' offense fault. It's the NBA's fault more than anything. And by that, it's just the Rockets don't have that many stars. They don't have enough stars to compete with the Golden State Warriors. They did with Chris Paul, but he got injured. So right now we're going to get the Warriors versus the Cleveland Cavaliers for the fourth straight year in a row. And it is probably going to be a very quick series. It's disappointing. It's upsetting to think about. But with the end of the Rockets season comes the beginning of thinking about next year. And by that, who will be the next star the Rockets get? If the Cleveland Cavaliers get bounced out of the playoffs fairly quickly, maybe LeBron James comes to Houston. Maybe you get Chris Paul, LeBron James, and James Harden. That'd be a hell of a team to face the Golden State Warriors. So that's pretty much all I got to say. It was nice to see Joe Johnson get a couple minutes. It was nice to see Ryan Anderson get a couple minutes. Disappointing that Ryan Anderson, I mean, against the Warriors, Ryan Anderson's not going to be used to his fullest potential because the Warriors don't play very many bigs. They run small most of the time. So it's you kind of lose the advantage with Ryan Anderson. He was getting destroyed by Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry just switch on him and take him to the hole or shoot over him. It's a little bit frustrating, but I was happy that Mike D'Antoni went to the bench and gave Rockets players rest. Maybe it wasn't enough rest, which is why the Rockets were missing threes down the stretch. I don't know, but I'm happy that he didn't live and die with a 6-7 man rotation. He extended it just a little bit farther, and he gave the Rockets the best chance they had tonight. And that's pretty much all I got. It's going to be interesting to see some of the comments that come out from the Rockets locker room after Game 7. Jesus, I can't pronounce things. I am wondering if you're going to hear anyone complain about the officials. Probably not, but it was certainly something that was a little bit of a game changer tonight. So that's pretty much all I got. I appreciate you for giving this a watch, and thank you guys. And I guess we'll be back sometime next year.